Hello class, welcome back to our class. Welcome to StudyWave Academy, where education is without limit. Welcome back to class, welcome back to our beautiful English class, and let's continue understanding literature and engaging ourselves in what this literature is. So right now we're looking at the different functions of literature. We've already looked at the different purposes of literature, explored all of them, and right now we're looking at the functions of literature. Okay, so we talked about literature serves various functions in the society and for all individuals. Okay, these functions help us understand the significance of literary works, how they impact our lives. Here are some key functions. So I've already talked about some key functions and everything. Okay, so don't forget about that. So we're going to be discussing the functions now. We're from discussing the different purposes of literature. So right now we're looking at the functions of literature. Okay, so now the first function we looked at was entertainment, and I talked about this entertainment, what entertainment is, what it entails. Okay, and how literature entertains us. I looked at education too and told you that literature also provides knowledge to us. We're able to learn different cultures, different historic events, and various subjects that we don't know about. Okay, so let's look at another function as cultural reflection. So what do I mean here? Literature reflects values, beliefs, and traditions of a society. So through literature, like I said, through literature you can be able to learn about where your friend comes from. For example, you're from different communities or different places. With your friend comes from one place and you come from another place. Through literature you can learn about their values, you can learn about their beliefs, you can learn about their tradition. Okay, you can learn about their society. So literature is a cultural reflection. Okay, it provides it preserves its culture's heritage. Like I said, right now you're young. 10 years to come, 5 years to come, or 20 years to come, you'd want to really know about where you came from. You'd want to know about your family. Okay, so through literature we are able to learn about this. Through literature we can be able to learn about our culture, learn about the different traditions that put us together, or that we live and believe in. Okay, so I know most of us have heard about Chinua Achebe. Okay, this story, Things Fall Apart. Maybe we've heard it, maybe we've not heard about this story, maybe we've heard about him, maybe we've not heard about him, but it is okay. So Things Fall Apart, this story, it provides insight into the culture and customs of the Igbo people in Nigeria. Okay, so when I want to know about the Igbo people in Nigeria, I can be able to read this story here, Things Fall Apart by Chinua Achebe. Okay, and just get an insight of the culture of the Igbo people and how they carry out themselves, or their daily activities are. Okay, so don't forget about that. Now let's move and look at the emotional expression. So the emotional expression here, literature serves as a medium for authors to express their emotions, thoughts, and experiences. For example, this example here, maybe you know it again, but I won't mention it because I believe most of us are not conversant with. So we have a function of literature, or a function of literature as emotional experience. So literature serves as a medium for authors to express their emotions through thoughts and through their experiences. Okay, so when you write, or when a certain author wants to write about their certain experience, or their thoughts on a certain topic, they can do this through literature. So literature provides this platform where we can be able to write, where we can be able to understand different authors, and what they feel. Okay, so it's just a platform where we can share our emotions and just share our expressions. Okay, don't forget about that. Now let's continue and look at the next function here. So I hope you understand how literature helps different authors express themselves and express their emotions. Okay, the next one is social critique. Social critique. Literature can critique and comment on social issues, exposing injustices and challenges. So for example, you feel maybe a certain leader is not acting right, or a certain leader is doing something wrong, you can provide your comments or provide your social critiques through literature. You can write about this down. So literature gives us that leeway, or gives us that opportunity to write what we feel, write what we actually feel, and even express ourselves. So through literature, we're able to critique different challenges or different injustices that are done to people. So that's another function of literature that we should not forget about. Okay, then we have another function, exploration of human nature. So you will notice that the functions of literature and the purpose of literature are more likely the same, but they're different explanations. Okay, so purpose of literature is basically like, why do we need to study literature? Why do we need to understand it? So that is the purpose of literature, the why. Okay, and then when we look at the functions of literature, we're looking at what does literature do? What does it do? So the thing that it does, or the activities that literature does, or how literature impacts our life, what does it do is the functions. And purpose is why, the why. Why do we study literature? Why do we have to understand literature? Okay, so that is the why is the purpose, and then the what does it do is the functions. Okay, so we have exploration of human nature. Literature delves into the complexities of human nature, revealing their depth, human emotions, and the behaviors. So through literature, we can be able to understand how different people feel, put ourselves in different people's shoes. For example, you're reading a non-fictional text, and a non-fictional text, I gave you example of maybe a biography. Someone has written a story about another person. For example, Nelson Mandela, for example. So all these stories that you write about someone else is called biography. Okay, so anytime we read maybe someone's biography, we're able to feel ourselves in their shoe and try feel what they feel, or just try to feel what they experience, or what different experiences they've gone through. Okay, so literature just helps us to feel different human emotions and behavior, and just understand how people feel or how people react. Okay, the next function is moral and ethical guidance. Moral and ethical guidance. Okay, so literature can convey moral lessons, ethical dilemmas, and guidance on ethical decision making. So through fables like the tortoise and the hare, we learn that there is always a moral lessons through these stories. If in our past classes, when you joined my past classes, I talked about different types of narratives, different types of essays. Okay, and you notice that anytime you will read someone's essays or someone's narrative, maybe the hare and the lion, or hyena and the hare, all those things, you will learn that at the end of the story, there's always a moral lesson. And a moral lesson is something to take home. Like, what do you learn? You learn that maybe we should never be cunning, we should not be greedy, we should always follow our dreams. So such things, we're able to learn the morals of the story, and even try to let me get back here. We're able to learn different morals and just guide ourselves on how to live according to a good life. Okay, so literature provides us with, it can convey moral lessons that are essential for just guiding our lives and just guiding us on the way we live or how we live. Okay, so don't forget about that. Literature is very, very important in just conveying moral lessons that help us to adjust how we live and adjust how we treat other people. Now let's look at the other function, is aesthetic and artistic expressions. So when I say aesthetic, again, aesthetic is just beauty. Okay, so there's beauty in expressing yourself, and literature allows, or is a form of art that allows authors to express themselves artistically through language, through style, and through creative storytelling. So through literature, authors can express themselves, express how they feel about a certain topic, express how they feel about someone or something that is happening in the world. Okay, so literature is also a form of aesthetic expression or artistic expression, where an author can just talk about how they feel, talk about their ideas, anything they want to talk about. Okay, don't forget about that. we have the next function here, and that is empathy and understanding. So when we read the story, even like I said, when we watch a movie, we sometimes get intrigued by it. We want to cry when the author is crying. We feel sad when the author is being molested or being mistreated, okay? We feel happy when the author is happy. When the author finds what they're looking for, we are also happy because we're able to understand them and even relate to our own experiences. So we are able to have empathy for these authors because we also relate. So for example, you see some happy author or an author who writes about an happy experience. You feel happy because sometimes you want to be in their shoe, be in the shoe of a certain character and just feel what they're feeling, okay? So literature helps readers to develop empathy by allowing them to understand and relate to the experiences of diverse characters and different people in the story, okay? So don't forget about that. It's also another important function. Another function is communication of complex ideas. So literature just makes it easier for readers to grasp difficult concepts. For example, when a concept about freedom is a very, very wide concept and very, very hard to grasp sometimes, very, very hard to understand it. But through literature, for example, you're reading a book or you're watching a movie, you find it that you understand this movie, understand the characters. So as you understand the movie and understand the character and even can tell someone else the movie, you're simply understanding what freedom is, but in an easier way, okay? So freedom shadows, or literature shadows the hard way in which you look at things and just makes them look easier and very, very easy to explore, okay? So through literature, we are able to see how easier it is for us to grasp difficult concepts. So literature can communicate complex and abstract ideas in a more accessible and engaging manner, okay? Making it easier for readers to grasp difficult concepts and making it easier for us to understand difficult concepts, okay? So that is another function of literature that we should not forget. Then, so what I just want to say about functions of literature, these functions of literature collectively contribute to the richness and enduring value in the society. Literature can enlighten, inspire, entertain, and provoke thoughts, making it an essential part of human culture, okay? So all we just have to know about literature is that it contributes to the richness and enduring values in the society. For example, we are able to feel enlightened. You read a book or you watch a movie or watch some drama, you feel enlightened after it. You'll say, you can be able to even connect it to your life and just find ways to live a beautiful life or even try to emulate or copy what the authors are doing too, okay? So through literature, we can be able to emulate or copy what authors do or other people do, okay? So don't forget about that. So when we look at these functions of literature and the purpose of literature, they're more of the same thing but very, very different. Like I said, purpose is when we talk about what is the purpose of literature, we're asking ourselves, why should I read literature? What will I gain, or why is it important for me to understand literature? But when you talk about functions of literature, we're simply talking about what are the things that literature do. What does it do? What does literature do? So the what is the functions here. Do not forget that, okay? So just to focus on this purpose again, so that we can't forget. So we've looked at various purposes here, purpose of literature. We looked at the first one being entertainment, okay? Then we looked at the first one was entertainment. Then we looked at education. Then we looked at cultural preservation as a purpose. Then we looked at reflection and exploration of human experience. We then went to societal commentary. Then we looked at aesthetic and artistic expression. We looked at the moral and ethical guidance. We also looked at the empathy and understanding. We looked at communication of complex ideas. And then we looked at this other purpose, or all those purposes, and then we went to the functions too, where we looked at the various functions and each one we explained and understood them.